Well, hey, welcome to Town Hall Talks. Now, this is a new segment we're doing here at 5 News. We're talking to our local city leaders, and we're letting you get to know your cities a bit better.
And so our first guest, thank you so much for coming, is Bentonville Mayor Stephanie Orman. And so for people who don't know, you've been mayor since 2019. So what have those last few years been like for you?
Fast pace. We've had several events through COVID and the tornado and different things, so learning a lot, but we have so much opportunity in our city and such a great community that comes together with this sort of just can-do attitude, and so you're seeing amazing things happen in our city.
And so with that opportunity, we were talking about some of your favorite memories as the city has just grown tremendously these last few years. What would you say is the first one that comes to mind?
Well, I love community gathering events, right? So we do the lighting of the square, and it is it's a tradition in the city of Bentonville. This last year, I had a new friend, Cam, who he and his dad also run the half marathon, and they have a very inspiring story. And he came and helped me flip the switch, and it was just amazing. And to see it on the new promenade and different things that we've done in downtown, it's just been it's definitely a memory that I'm holding.
That is awesome. Bentonville is definitely a city. It's a beautiful city. A lot of growth there. You guys have seen a lot of rapid growth here recently. So let's talk a little bit about what does the housing situation look like with all of that growth, and maybe even businesses being able to come in and set up shop.
So we're very focused on capacity building, and that means looking at our assets that are in the ground, so the infrastructure that's in the ground, to make sure that we're planning and also funding the needed resources to have increased types of housing. So, and we encourage our process too to be more streamlined, work with developers. We're also going through a huge process with our Bentonville community code and our land use plan, and making sure that that's all incorporated, and so that what we like to say is that we're trying to grow well. We know that our population is going to increase. We can look at the data and the research from the last 10 years and put that in place. Also understand what's coming down the pipeline. Mm-hmm. So we're really trying to be intentional with growing well and making sure that our infrastructure has that capacity in it to be able to do that.
Yeah. Can we talk about tracking the population? What does that process look like? How do you guys keep it streamlined and keep up with it?
So, there is the census process, right? So in 2020 was the last census. It's a 10-year process. And so that data is kind of what's used at the federal level. But we are doing our address points with our GIS system. So we know what development's coming in, and so we can be a lot more accurate, and we can also do that on a concurrent yearly basis to make sure that we are very accurate. And we're usually within, I think this last 2020 census, we were within about 300 on our population. So we're pretty accurate with our in-house systems to be able to track that and hopefully plan for that population growth.
What does that population look like?
So we're looking at doubling in size in the next 20 years or so.
Wow.
And so we're really trying to plan for that in the capacity in our infrastructure. Again, we feel like we're being kind of forward-thinking in how we're approaching that with our land use plan, and then also our Bentonville code, and really intentional with what type of growth can happen in the city, and encouraging it to be also part of the community and what the community wants and how we grow.
And so as this area is growing and y'all are planning for that, what safeguards are in place to prevent overdevelopment and strain on our roadways?
So again, going back to our land use plan, and we're looking at really every parcel and what is the capability for growth in the area, and is it compatible? We've done a ton of community input to make sure people that live in neighborhoods, or they want to live downtown in mixed use, that we're really planning for that capacity-wise, and also from a growth standpoint. And we have transition zones built in place, so whatever's being built next to you is something that is compatible with what's existing there. And so we've worked really hard to do that, taking also into consideration population projections. We do have the largest retail in the world in our city, and so really understanding from a workforce standpoint what their needs are and how we're going to grow. I always say we're growing. I think we're growing well because we have jobs here, and we're trying to plan for that and be able to create a quality of life in Bentonville that people want to be a part of.
And okay, you won in 2018, came to office in 2019. Did you imagine that there would be this much growth in such a short amount of time? I mean, y'all are planning for the future growth now, but could you have ever imagined we would have so much over these last few years?
I think that's that's always the question that gets asked, and I think we could look at the history and kind of know, but to really do what we're doing now with very intentional planning around data and new technologies that helps us be able to plan better. I think we're doing a good job of trying to accommodate for that. And we want to be leading, we want to be cutting edge, and we want to work with private development. We want to work with nonprofits and make sure things that are coming in, again, that we're putting the infrastructure in the ground that can help them grow and grow well.
Well, and a big part of that is y'all have a great partnership with the Waltons. They help a lot around Northwest Arkansas, but recently Alice Walton bringing that med school to Bentonville. What is that? How's that going to help the healthcare community and create jobs for Bentonville?
So that's exciting. So you're going to get specialized healthcare in Bentonville. It will be a hub for it. You're not going to have to travel, several states away to be able to get that. So what that brings for our community, but really for the region itself, is just high quality healthcare. We're going to also be able to have homegrown doctors and nurses, and really give them a place where they can live here and get their education here, but also go to work here. So we're really, really excited about it.
That is super important. And also, can we talk about affordable housing? Because that is a big issue here. A lot of people are interested in. What does that look like for the city of Bentonville?
So the city is really, again, working with our private developers and then also nonprofits that may have land. I always say the starting point of any housing is land and finding the land. But on the city's end, we're also listening to them. How do we streamline our processes? How do we make it, once they get into a pre-con or are ready to go to construction, how do we make sure from a city standpoint the permitting process and things are streamlined so we can get a great quality housing product in the ground that we can maintain, because a lot of times when those products go in the ground, there's donated assets that are coming back to the city that we're going to have to maintain long term, right? So we want to make sure we get good quality product in the ground, but we also want to make sure that we're doing it as efficiently as possible for developers and as predictably as possible for developers, but also for our community, right? So it's a very intentional process that we're going through in the city of Bentonville. Again, our goal is to grow well, have opportunity, have housing, and people to really enjoy the quality of life.
Well, how do you maintain the culture within all of that?
So I think we just have a great culture in Bentonville and really in Northwest Arkansas. There's that can-do attitude. There's that let's figure it out attitude. Let's get in a room. How do we do this better? We want to be leading edge. We want to have opportunity. We want to have high quality of life. And so when you have those sort of core values, you get people in a room and you figure it out. And I think we're doing a pretty good job. I hope people think that we're doing a pretty good job. One thing that I think is an indicator is we now have cities calling us and saying, hey, can we come in and talk to you? How are you doing this? We're seeing this type of development going in your city. How are y'all doing that? And it's with a lot of planning and a lot of intentionality.
Yeah.
And Bentonville is a special place. The people are a big part of it. What would you say for someone who's never been? What makes Bentonville so unique?
I think our culture is it's about opportunity. Everyone wants to see everyone be successful. It doesn't matter who gets the credit for it. We want you to be successful in our city. And I think, again, our focus is on high quality of life and listening to our community. And then we have a development community, and we have others that want to come alongside us and make sure those things that people really value are being put in place. And so it's a great partnership throughout. You're always going to want to do things better, and you're always going to need to learn from things, right? How do we learn something from something that we think, is a really great infrastructure we've put in, but there's still going to be pieces of it that can be better, right? And so I think you have to also be willing to humble yourself and listen and do better every time. And again, our expectation is very high in the city of Bentonville, and we're going to continue to be hopefully operating at this level with the success we've seen, but also with our community that, again, has that sort of just can-do attitude, and we get it done.
Well, is there anything new, exciting that's coming in that people need to know about, or anything that recently happened that's changing Bentonville?
There's always something new. It's funny, you can drive through town one week and the next week there's something new popping up, which I think is amazing in Bentonville. But we talked about the healthcare campus. Everything that's going to come in with that is truly going to be phenomenal. So stay tuned for those announcements. A lot of that's on the private side, so I don't give those announcements. The private side will do that. The STEM University has been announced, and so that's really making sure that we, again, can get the pipeline of the workforce from engineering and technology and being able to help produce that in our city. I think it's going to be a phenomenal opportunity. We're also very focused on outdoor recreation and quality of life and connecting our parks and our trails so people have those spaces and opportunity to enjoy those gathering spaces. So there's a lot that goes into it, I think, that people just don't, I think I want to have more conversations about that with the community of everything we're trying to do, and we really want to work with the community because we need their support too as we're doing these things, and hopefully, again, making a city that people want to live, work, and play in, but also invest in, right?
Yeah, definitely so. Well, just real quick, you had mentioned the trails and the recreation. What does that look like? What's new or has been implemented recently changing?
So we have what we call the Quilt of Parks in downtown. So we're trying to really basically connect all of our downtown parks. The most recent opening to that was our A Street Promenade. And so I'm so excited for people to just come down and experience downtown right now. So you can go to the Lawrence Plaza, which is sort of a splash pad in our more summer months, and then a ice skating rink in the winter months. And then you can walk down the promenade. There's going to be all kinds of new retail and stuff coming up, or already coming up down there. Be able to walk down that, and then go into what is currently being improved upon, which is our Dave Peel Park with an amphitheater, and then a new destination playground is being built. So we just have lots of exciting things happening. So we are always trying to be intentional with our parks and recreation and also our trails, because we think that is a very important aspect to a high quality of life in the city of Bentonville.
Absolutely.
I feel like every time I go to Bentonville, something new is popping up, something's being worked on, and I'm so excited to see the final outcome of all of that.
Well, Mayor Orman, thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate that. Telling us all about Bentonville. It was nice to have you. Well, thank you for joining us here for Town Hall Talks. We'll see you on the next one.